Hello everyone, this is Jill here to give the Purdue versus Kent State post-game recap. The final score was Purdue 101, Kent State 60. This was the last non-conference game of the season, also the last game of the year, and it was at home in Mackey Arena. So a lot of build-up, I guess, in preparation for this particular game, and a special guest was in attendance, Tommy Luce being an assistant coach for Kent State. Obviously he wasn't there for Purdue, but nonetheless, the King of Mackey was back. A couple of things I was thinking about before this game even happened was, obviously it's the last game of 2025, and, last non-conference game, really just wanted it to be a good game, good opportunity for the players, and since it is another mid-major team, while they are a challenging team and have different skill sets than Purdue, if it is a game that we dominate, hopefully we have bench players providing opportunities to score and to really stuff the stat sheet. That was what I was thinking, and this was a game that I think just after a couple minutes really turned in Purdue's favor and gave them, opportunities to score and do their thing. For team stats, they were 56% from field, 39% from three. They out-rebounded Kent State 39-27, and they limited turnovers to 8 overall, so that was pretty great. For the past couple of games, defense has been really great. Obviously, we held this opponent to 60 points, and this is the third game in a row that we've held a team to 60 points or less. So that's great to see, just even, when competition may seem like it's a little lopsided, that we are looking at each opponent as if they are the number one team in the country and, playing with an intensity on the defensive end like we do on offense. So I think that's going to be key this year, that we maintain this aggressive stance on our defense and let that translate into a really fun and exciting offense. It's also nice to see that in these types of games where we are dominating, that our bench players and our role players are contributing to the team in ways that are different each and every game. For example, Jakari Harris, he was 6 of 6 from the free throw line, and he got 5 rebounds this game, whereas in the last game he scored 3 or 4 3-pointers and really impacted the game through scoring. Omer Meyer hasn't necessarily been scoring super well so far, but this game he got 5 assists, and that is something that he's able to take some pressure off of Braden Smith and, provide some scoring opportunities for other players. So that's great to see him contribute in that way. To kind of piggyback off that, our depth on this team is really great. Obviously, our core 5 players are day in and day out trying to be consistent, and I think for the most part that's what's happening. But to see also our bench come out and score and, contribute is always great to see. I think we had 5 players in this game score 10 points or more, and 2 of them were bench players. So the fact that we can see that is just great, that the points are being distributed around our players relatively evenly every other game or so. Some player stats, I think this first and foremost has to go to Jack Benner, who scored 20 points and was a perfect from field, 100% from three-pointer. He scored 6 3-pointers, and I think he had a layup or a tip-in. So not much to say there, except that's absolute perfection. So that's awesome. And so obviously, he knows what he's capable of, and the fact that he's able to score and contribute so well in this game and in past games is a really great opportunity, I think, for him, because he's a redshirt freshman, so he's got a lot of years to develop here, and if he sticks around, he's got an opportunity to start. He is the 3rd Boilermaker this season to score 20 points or more and be perfect from the field. The last 2 were Daniel Jacobson and Oscar Clough. So the fact that 2 of those 3 players are bench players is good stuff. I think that speaks to our depth. I also want to say I think Fletcher Lawyer is starting to find his groove again from shooting. And, obviously, I think his 3-pointers this game were 3 for 10. So probably not where he wants it to be exactly, but I think about how he started red hot this season with like 70-60% from 3, and that was great to see, but at some point I think it just levels off and kind of returns to the mean. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now, And then hopefully as conference play kicks in, we start to see kind of a leveling off and a more consistent performance from him. I'm not concerned at all by how he's been playing. I think when he's not shooting well, he's trying to be contributing in other ways. So he's making things happen, and he's finding his way to be a team player for sure. Jakari Harris, I mentioned this earlier, he was 100% from the free throw line, and he got 5 rebounds. So, great to see him contribute in ways and get opportunities to score and be efficient on the court. And, I'm excited to see how he does in the conference season. So these last 2 games for him were really good. So just excited to see more from him. Obviously, I think we always talk about some of these other players, but the big 3, Fletcher, Braden, Trey Coppin-Wren, they're all doing really well in their games. Trey Coppin-Wren had a double-double, 15 points, 12 rebounds. Braden Smith, he got 8 assists. He's now 10 assists away from the Big Ten all-time assist record. So that's going to be an exciting one, potentially an opportunity to see that happen next game. Fletcher, I think, scoring 19 points in this game was really good for him, just a confidence boost, and to see the ball go through the net. I think that's kind of what we expect from him. So when things are not kind of going in his favor, it seems strange, but all in good time. And then the last player I think I will mention is Omer Meyer. Not really having a great shooting season so far, but I like that he is still looking for a shot and trying to be confident when he shoots and does the catch and shoot. He had 5 assists this game, which is great that he's passing the ball and providing opportunities for teammates to score. That's something that we're going to need next year for sure. So if he sticks around, would love to see that continue. And then I think he's still really young. So the fact that he's not shooting very well, I would say it doesn't seem that abnormal to me. So I'm just kind of waiting for him to get comfortable and to get used to the style of play that Purdue has. And then also once Big Ten conference play rolls around, that's like a whole different type of game, I feel like. Overall, I think this was a really fun game to watch. Personally, I love games where we win by 40 points or more. I think they're just nice to see everyone shooting well and feel excited to play. If we can maintain this level of aggressiveness throughout the season, that's just really what's going to be the difference maker for us. This entire non-conference play to me felt really great to watch. And while I think we had really high expectations coming into the season, I believe that Purdue met them and or exceeded them, depending on your outlook on things. We had a really tough non-conference schedule coming into the season. Some of these games might have been, quote unquote, a little bit easier based on how the season progressed for these opponents. But I also think that Purdue looked at each team and saw them as a worthy opponent for themselves and played very hard so far. While we do have 1 loss so far, I think that was 1, a really great learning opportunity for Purdue, and 2, it's not the only reason we lost for sure, but it was an anomaly of a performance from Purdue. So I think that paired with Iowa State coming in to play and just shooting lights out and absolutely dominating on the defensive end did not help matters. And so I think we kind of needed to see where there were flaws in our game in order to get better. So it sucks that it happened at Mackey, but I think it does relieve some pressure of having to have a perfect season and losing against an opponent that is certainly contender for the national title. If you're going to lose to any non-conference team based on our schedule, that's the one I'd want to see us lose to. I think moving forward, conference play is going to be a challenge of its own, despite there being a really big discrepancy between a lot of these teams. I think it's important that Purdue goes into every game thinking that every opponent is, going to be a really tough matchup and that it's anyone's game, because to me, it really is anyone's game. I'm excited to move forward with Big Ten play and to see some opponents that we play against a lot and we match up really well against, I think. So the next one up is going to be Purdue at Wisconsin on Saturday, January 3rd. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.